Hello friends, my name is Old Man Cloud. I upload daily Bazaar gameplay videos to my YouTube channel. Let's jump in playing as Pig. I mostly play Vanessa, but I'm keen to give Pig a shot in the new meta. I've had a couple of runs which are borderline as to whether I'll upgrade them or not, but in any case, let's jump into the Pig run. Always prefer econ start with Pig. Let's have a look at your small items. Early succulence is fine. Early rewards card can be used with property scaling early. Early yo-yo opens up some possibilities, sufficient to justify taking it, I think. And then let's go after Kimono because I would love to get a Scarf run together. Scarf got a significant buff in the latest patch so that it now scales even faster. And it was already a fast scaler. So they're going in an interesting direction with that. I thought they might have looked at possibly reducing its cooldown, but it's also not the type of item that really needed a buff, to be honest. But as a scaling enjoyer, I certainly won't say no. So day one as Pig, I think you really want to get you want to get some type of scaling engine online in day one, I think, as Pig. Or at least the way I play Pig. You could probably also just go for aggro weapons or survivability and try to get in some early wins. But it's great to get an item like Scarf, Regal Blade, Dog, one of the scaling engines. It's really good to get that online in day one. And it's also good to get some type of property scaling if you can manage it. That's obviously a harder ask in day one. But like Fixer Upper, Money Tree, these types of things are really great for Pig in the early game. We're going fast Pig early on, which is fine. There's an early Fixer Upper which I will grab, although I'd love to take Ladle as well. So we put you like this, and then we take Ladle over Yo-Yo. The problem with Pig is that runs just take longer. And I think with how aggro Vanessa got, you're going to be hard pressed to win early game as Pig, even more so than usual. Vanessa is just so aggro so early now, especially this Volcanic Vents item is nasty, a really nasty early item. In fact, a nasty mid to late game item as well. It's just plain nasty now. So we got to keep an eye out for this. Might be fun to try to get a run like that together as Vanessa. But anyway, there you go. So even though we got these are almost the early game items you want as Pig, we still got rolled. So to some extent you just resign yourself to having a rough time early as Pig. Pig skills are bad, so I'm not going to spend on the reroll. I'm just going to take shielding on the likelihood that we get Fixer Upper out on the field at some point.
Come on in. Let's chat.
So a Silver Crook, this is early for a Silver Crook. Did just have a square Pig run. So I think with that in mind, I think I'd rather try something a bit different. Rewarded with some great upgrades here, but it's pretty nasty. We need 8 to afford them both, so we'd have to sell out the board effectively, and then we lose the AI fight, so you just can't do that. So we sell just 2 to afford the Fixer Upper? Although it's getting to Diamond eventually. Maybe we upgrade you, but not the Fixer Upper. Yeah, I think that's fine. No matter what, we're getting it to Diamond eventually. And let's take some XP. Oh, we don't have we lost our yo-yo, so that was a misplay. I just insta-clicked to the left. I don't think we can take Covetous or Rogue Scrapper, so let's go after Coconut. Well, maybe we could. We put on a little bit of burn. Would love to have a Scarf Claw run now as Pig. But today's not that day. We get some very marginal benefit from the fights going longer for Succulents gaining heal, but it's not long for this world. Hopefully. Who knows with how our run's looking. This is just not the start you're looking for as Pig. You're looking for Ganjo, Bushel, Scarf, these kind of defensive items, weights, defensive slash scaling items are the best early game items for Pig.
Maybe two.
At least we do have the engine for the very late game set up here.
If you have to
Let's try to expand our board a bit. Sure.
You're a smart one for your size.
It's not very good, but sure. And we'll upgrade. I think we will upgrade Fixer Upper, even though it's eventually getting to diamond no matter what. Getting it there a bit quicker is nice, and the other options weren't good anyway. This is our best board, but it's not very good, especially against a Mac. Pig still matches up badly against Mac. You get out damaged and you tend to get out healed, and you tend to just die to poison. Especially with this. That's a strong early Mac build, brother. So yeah, the less Mac there is in the meta, the better for our friend Pygmalion. At least we drag the fight out a little bit for our succulents, but Pig and Poison is just a bad combo. Didn't see Money Tree, unfortunately. Would like to make Money Tree work. Income is nice, especially because if this run is to be any decent, we're taking it to the late game. I think we're all in on Fixer Upper kind of here. Don't really fancy any of these. Sure, you give us truffles, which help with Fixer Upper to some extent, and you look funny just being randomly on the board.
Make deals, not
These are better. Let's take 6 small items, I think.
glad we could share this experience today.
Too late for Scarf, too late for however you pronounce this, although it's a great item. Think it's too late? Yeah, especially too late for Bronze. Robe can work here. We should try to make Robe work, in which case we probably get rid of the bird. We want you next to Matchbox and probably Steam Ladle is right. And then we want our bird's useless, it's gone. It's a slight improvement. And we probably want Robe. Which one's going to go faster? I think Robe might just go faster. I actually think we might do okay against the Aetheryte. This could be a throw. My logic here is that our burn should be enough to be getting rid of the shield to some extent. And that we heal and shield quite a bit, actually. See whether that holds true. And then hopefully we get to the Sandstorm with a health advantage with our shield. It's looking relatively like a relatively accurate assessment. Yeah, we'll be fine. So that was a good little pickup there. Would love Force Field, would find a way to try to make it work, even though you'd ideally have picked up Scarf for the Force Field pivot.
But the Bazaar will go dark
The skill is one of the best in the game. There's Force Field. Can absolutely work really well with Pig. And especially with Fixer Upper. So how do we do this? I don't think we can pivot into it quite yet, but we'll want to keep it in the bag, which means room is going to be at a premium. What do we want to upgrade here? Possibly Robe, possibly Matchbox. I think let's upgrade Robe.
I say thoroughly tested.
Especially because it may stay on the board even with Fixer Upper. Let's take an enemy. Would love to gain the level for health. For board space, which I will. For health as well. We'll beat Dervish. Okay. Feel like the run's in a better place than it was a day ago. The problem is with having a late game build in mind, like Fixer Upper plus Force Field, it really does. It's a matter of getting there at the moment. The game is so aggressive. You want to get there, and you want to not be quite on lethal yet. Just because there's always a chance of running up into a build more busted than yours. So we will level up, but not till after we've grabbed that. So I think we want to get rid of something. Everything on the board is kind of doing something. Maybe we just don't take Sharpening Stone. Kind of need the money though. I mean, you're doing very little. So let's get rid of you and take the stone. The board then expands. We can put you on Force Field because why not? And then how does our best board look? We probably play you. You need to be next to, you need to be charging smalls like that. I think this is probably our best board. In fact, that might be worth it because Fixer Upper is going off so often. And we don't really care about you. So I think we play it like this. Like this. In fact, we want leftmost shield. Let's do my head in. Move it all over like so, because we want leftmost shield item to be Fixer Upper. How does this look now? And then we want you to be next to that and that. Oh my goodness. Yes, close enough. Okay. Upgrade, don't really need any upgrades. Right? Right. Do you do... Just wondering how Pitchfork upgrades. I guess it gives better truffles, so let's upgrade that actually. Seeing as pick skills are just so bad. Oh, so much for... I said I was going to try to play pick quicker. Just took forever there. And probably going to get wiped by Super Aggro Vanessa after all that. But I've got my sip of coffee, so it could be a lot worse.
Underestimate me. It makes this more.
This is an angry Vanessa. What did people do to you, brother? What did people do to you? I don't think we're going to be able to survive this, even with the shield from Fixer Upper. That's just too angry.
I paint my ship red, but I don't use.
One day we'll get a win, my friends. One of these days. They don't know. Be careful who you bully, okay? Be careful who you bully in school. This Fixer Upper's coming back, if it ever gets a chance. +4 value from truffles is nice though.
Cast aside your destruments.
That's a nice upgrade.
Friend.
Hogwash can absolutely work, but not with what we're doing. Snow Globe, I think, will help us stay in the game. So we want to get rid of Succulents and Hot Stones. And let's bring you in next to Fixer Upper. Yeah, this seems okay. Don't know why why is Piggles on the board. Ointment is much better. I think this is just genuinely a great standalone item now. Cleansing half poison and burn every 6 seconds? That's incredible. That almost feels like it could be a legendary item with how unique that effect is. So now the question is when we look... Let's just buy this so we upgrade Fixer Upper. Now the question is when we look to pivot into Force Field. Should definitely be visiting vendors while we can because we get great value here. And let's spend.
Free. I like the exercise.
Ledger is fantastic. Should have possibly looked at how I was going to afford this before wildly buying whatever I bought there. Would really prefer not to get rid of Pitchfork. So we'd have to get rid of Robe plus Matchbox, which I can do, but then plus Ointment, which I don't really want to do, or plus Snow Globe, which I don't really want to do. Maybe we just pivot into Force Field now, because it's kind of forced. and get rid of Ointment as much as I like it. Ledger is just really good, and it's how this build kind of goes late game. So I think we kind of need to pick it up. You can go. You can go. I wish I could hang on to the Ointment. Such a great item. Just got to get that Ledger, brother. Piggle's not enough. Sorry. And we have the Ledger. Okay. Which means we settle in for a long pig run. Unless we get really destroyed. But Ledger management is how pig runs go for a while. Play it like this and take on Retiree, I think, or Hellbilly. Can probably take them both. Hellbilly, I think, will die to Force Field. Not 100% sure though. He also scales with Ganjo. All it would take is some bad timing, or for your damage to outscale my heal. Although we've got Piggles. I think this should be fine.
You came to the wrong now.
I like that it was having Piggles that really pushed me over the line. But I think we should just be putting on too much shield, especially with Snow Globe. They're going to scale their damage faster than me, but with Snow Globe I don't think it's going to matter.
Phew, gotta hand it to you. That was a mighty fine tussling.
So I think we pivoted at the right time in all the circumstances. It's a good get.
It's all about motivation.
Shield skills?
You gotta know what you're fighting for.
That's a shield skill, but we can't put them both on Fixer Upper, which is annoying. A tiny bit of income. Just has to be rear shielding. In which case we want to shift you to the left like this. After we do that. So now we have to keep an eye on you.
Oh, a customer.
This is pretty great. It's really great actually. Double shield. Helps everything else have shield. We have to do it, don't we? Just has to be done, which means we have to get rid of our gold rewards card, which is a real shame. But this is a phenomenal pickup, and we have Ledger for scaling now. I don't do that lightly. I know how good that is, but in this case, it's the right play, I think, because you're going to scale your value with Ledger and with selling items. You're going to give all our items shield equal to your value. Yeah, you have double shield yourself, you help force field yourself, it's just a no-brainer. In which case Snow Globe can go. So now we try to... It'd be great to pick up a VIP pass. Or it would be great for a rewards card to make its way back, but VIP pass in particular would go very nicely with this build. Spiky shield, force field is just better, I think. Goes so much quicker, which means you're less likely to lose through just sheer bad timing. So I think we stick with our force field. Too late for Scarf, and the other items are useless.
Okay. It was nice to see you.
Piggles on Fixer Upper benefiting from rightmost shield, and we probably want you actually benefiting from... In fact, no, that's probably right. Okay, feel like we improved a lot that day and gave ourselves pretty decent long-term prospects. Problem, of course, is that shield is really, really bad against poison, which is prevalent in the meta at the moment. Feel like we should do okay against this. In fact, I'm almost certain we win this. But we'll see how we go. Their missile hits hard, that's for sure. But our force field starts hitting very hard. So scaling is the name of the game now. Value scaling is all that we care about. The board is very close to set, with probably the only flexibility coming from the yellow Piggles spot. So we have to be getting very cheap items, gumballs and chocolate. And we want to be buffing the value of... I think we buff the value of... Oh, this is tricky. So this gives all shield items your value, which makes it good, but you benefit 3 times your shield from your own value, and you're probably what we're putting the enchant on, I think we put the value onto Fixer Upper. That's a bit of a tight call though. And then let's just take the gold, I think. Curio is great to see. So now we buy your cheap goods. In fact, we could get some potential value from this. Nice, so we upgrade our Fixer Upper. Then we want to put Ledger in between these two. We want to sell. This is why pig takes so long, man. One more item.
Now that's a bargain.
Anything cheap we're buying. For scaling purposes.
Forms by rusty circuits to see that find out.
Now we're looking for gumballs and chocolate in particular. Pretty sure we can take anyone. Even though poison is bad for us, it also means that they're not getting rid of our shield. So I think we have a decent chance of outracing poison builds. As long as they don't freeze out our major shielder. Boom! Gotta love the force field. We'll try to be quicker here. Don't want this to be a 90-minute run that makes it kind of borderline unwatchable. 5 items is great, just for our buy-sell engine. Really wish I still had that rewards card, but oh well. It was the right call to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, buff. Might be able to find some decent econ items. That's one of them, and that's the other one. Great. Don't think. Do I want to reroll? No, let's save up our money. I think we can do better things with our money. Let's make sure you're there. Even though we're not looking to buy anything for use anyway.
Go make some more stories. Then come back and tell me.
Just take you for the buy sell. Get our piggles back out here. The enduring piggles. Dually. Should be fine. I feel like we do. I'm just thinking bugs freezes your whole board, don't they? Even with the nerf to bugs, they're super strong. Bugs, 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 bugs. No blue bug though. So no, oh no, but you got an icy chap, but you're only freeze small. So I think we should be fine. Maybe? Their Drillion's pretty hard, yeah, we're fine. That small bug being able to freeze large items is just nonsense, isn't it? But we've got a nice scaling pig and we're starting to get off the ground. You love to see it. Large items can be fantastic, but I think it has to be... It has to be free chocolate, I would think. Right? Yeah. In which case we want to sell you... In which case, we get chocolate, we move ledger, we want to upgrade shielded skyscraper, ideally. And let's go digging.
Imagine the wonders waiting for us in the ground.
Some interesting fellows there. Nothing game-changing though. Likewise here. Give ourselves maybe one more roll after this. No, nothing interesting here. One more roll! Live a little. Oh, mistakes have been made. It's got so much worse. Alright, well I have no one to blame but myself.
You're a natural at this.
Good thing I'm not playing a build where econ's super important. So now let's get our board back in order. Let's take on the hardest boss to try to press some XP. I assume... What do you do when you're upgraded, brother? I assume you increase the rate at which you gain value, possibly? You're probably our upgrade target anyway. Don't think Force Field does anything worthwhile when we upgrade it. Just increase its shield, I believe. We're about to find out. Let's upgrade our shield landscaper and see what you're cooking. Yeah, it increases its scaling rate, which is good. So let's get our board back in order. Visit a merchant for some scaling.
Huge. All about
Sure, I'll
life.
take Pitchfork upgrade.
I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
Belt is decent, but doesn't fit on our board, unfortunately. You're good econ,
For a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
and you're great for our build. I think you're worth it.
And I'll try
You're worth
to
holding in the
obey.
bag. Okay. I feel like something about this battle today feels really important. Let's just go to the merchant for scaling.
How do you hugelings use these things?
Don't really need you to upgrade because we're more concerned about the buy-sell than the quality of the gumball.
There's fun size, and then there's boring size.
I feel like today's an important fight.
I'm proud of this, but I just
It's the
want
difference
to do
of
things.
getting quite close to lethal, or quite close to falling to lethal, and and feeling pretty comfortable with where we're at. We want pickles there. We have room for the truffles and the gumball, so it's all good.
Are you sure?
Dooley. Looking to not see the freeze bug. Bugs, 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 bugs. Freeze bug. It's only freezing one for half a second though. We should be okay here. Our force field hits pretty hard if you don't freeze it. Yeah. Nice. I feel like this is a good build. It's a little... I mean, I'm talking about super late game here. It's not as fast as it could be, but maybe we get there. And we have an impactful enchant going on Fixer Upper to come. So I'm feeling pretty good. We want to play it like this. Yep. And now we want chocolate bars, but we need to get rid of 2. Start of each house. We might have to get rid of Gumball here, I think. It's great for us, but not having 5 free spots in your inventory as buy, sell, pig, I just don't think is a good position to be in. Because you really do want to be getting that cheap chocolate.
Reward the peaceful, punish the warful.
Sure. Let's just, having just said that, let's pick up the cash register. Seeing as we're not getting chocolates again today at least. So we'll at least get a little bit of value from the cash register.
For yourself.
None of these are good. Oh wow, you're an interesting chap. I mean, these 2 are phenomenal. They're probably the 2 skills we want most in the game. First time you use an item each fight, shield equal to 35% of your max health. So you can try to get really cheesy wins with force field and defense grid. So we'll do it. you can just put, if you've got enough health, you can just put force field on the field so that this shield procs as soon as force field goes off. But I think more consistent is to still play it like this and just rely on the nice early shield from defense grid that goes off at a pretty good time anyway. The other skill is fantastic as well. Am I crazy to think we take out the Corsair here? Let's find out. I feel like we're really, really strong. Your cooldown hit force field, which we're completely fine with. gives us more time to scale. So I think we're fine here. Our shield is so effective against your poison. Your burn, sorry, brother. And over time, we're just going to be hitting for too much, I think. Unfortunate breakpoint there, but I don't think it should matter even with your fire scaling. So this is where we hope for Fiery Rebirth. Oh, the crit is nasty. Didn't need it there, but nasty. We've also got Hard Shell giving us shield as well, so we really got the shield skills. And there's Fiery Rebirth. Oh brother, the run's on. Phenomenal skill. So now we get our board back in order, like so. And we go to the vendor for scaling.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does.
It's back.
See that mountain? That's Paul. He might have what you
Would like to see gumballs. Don't think we've seen them today. Yeah, and we don't need to... Oh, I probably should have put force field on the board because now it's going to take forever and going to be really annoying. I was thinking arrogantly, there's no need to change our board because this is going to be such an easy fight. But by not putting force field on the pitch, it becomes incredibly annoying because it's going to go to the sandstorm now. But oh well. Looking for cooldown as ever, but at the end of the day, just the XP is really nice. And gets us closer to level 10, which is the breakpoint for the enchant, of course. And can get some very impactful enchants on Fixer Upper. Burn, Toxic, and Obsidian are particularly good. Shiny and Shield would also be great with the build we're putting together here.
Not all Jabalians are pacifists.
Sure.
If you're not growing, you're...
Gold is good for us. We can exchange gold for goods and services, which is what we want. So we want to play it like this now. We still have enough room for 2 truffles plus... Oh, we don't have enough room for 2 truffles plus 2 spare change, which is really annoying. I think with that in mind, we actually sell pig, believe it or not. Sell piggles. It's just doing so little for us. And that clears up a little bit of room. Dooley. Should be fine. Stop this man. Okay, challenge accepted, brother. That skin is so cool. Not much health. Bugs. Bugs, 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 bugs. Multicast freezing bug you hate to see. Doesn't matter, brother. Doesn't matter. Cop that. That was a combination of Fixer Upper plus Defense Grid procking. Got a bit of synergy here. Got a bit of a build together. Shielded Pig. 1-tap Shielded Pig. Got a bit of late game potential here. It's nice feeling like... I feel like I'm playing a character who can go to the late game pretty easily. That hurts. I completely forgot about Ledger. It's so frustrating when you do that. I hate that. Wasted 10 items there. Anyway, the build goes on. Get rid of you now to clear up space. That was a clear misplay. But I was going to say I like playing a build that I feel like can go to the late game. We're not super against the clock to get our wins early. This type of build, depending on the enchants you get,
I would never
can be pretty dominant even later on.
Everyone, you got it here.
Make sure we don't make the same mistake again. Ice Luge is a great get. We'll be playing you on the board.
You wanna buy that?
First though, let's make sure we get our value from Ledger this time. And then we want to pick up Ice Luge. It gets a lot better once you put more ammo on it, but even with just 1 ammo, it's really strong. Yeah, and you don't stop the Fixer Upper. We want Fixer Upper, its first hit to go after 4 seconds, so that you get in before Force Field. Then you freeze it, which is fine after 5 seconds and it gets reduced. So yeah, I think the timing still works fine. And I think we can take on pretty much anyone here. So let's push for some XP. So the plan is Fixer Upper should go off once, then get frozen shortly after, which means we get a big first hit in with Force Field. and then its cooldown is permanently reduced once it
all about
unfreezes.
motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for.
So Ice Luge is a great item. Slow is one of the few enchants that doesn't work with what we're doing. So please don't do that thing where you give me the same enchant I just rejected. There's so many good ones. Yeah, that's a good one. Toxic Fixer Upper, a classic. Even though we maybe don't even really need it, arguably, with what we're doing, it's a classic for a reason. Let's make double sure. Really should just keep Ledger in between them to reduce the chance of mistakes. Lots of scaling. Just going to take the gold, I think, which we can exchange for things to sell later down the line. And we play it like you. So yeah, Mac can definitely put up a fight against us, but I feel like we're nasty now. This has the makings of a late game build. Force Field, a super fun item to run in Pig. Could try to make it a bit more gimmicky with making sure Defense Grid pops with the first Force Field, but I feel like when it's working this well, why mess with it? Fire Rebirth I don't think we've had to use yet, which is always a good sign. And we've got a nice upgrade still to come on Landscraper, although you could also make a case for upgrading Ledger. So everything's in a nice place. Let's not make the same mistake. Let's just put Ledger in there and keep it there. Like so. I'm just going to take a free property, I think. Whoa. Brother. It just doesn't... It's so good, but I think I prefer Shielded Landscraper. It has nice synergy giving Toxic Fixer-Upper its value as well. Could certainly find an argument for Billboard here instead of Shielded Landscraper. We scale its value, it pops really, really fast. 200 shield every... it's rough. But I think we can win by poison as well now, so there's something to be said for Shielded Landscraper shielding, buffing our Toxic Fixer-Upper. So as good as this is, I don't think it's what we're doing at the moment. It's probably one of the few items in the game that could have really tempted me there. Everything is in the right order. Although you don't pop quite yet. Inventory management. Looks good to me. And let's take on all comers. We don't lose too much. Even one-tap builds might have a hard time against us with the amount of shield we're putting on. Freeze is our biggest concern. But, I mean, there's very few builds in the game that can't just get blown out by a busted freeze build. What can you do about it? We also don't lose to items like Caltrops and Eels, which are becoming increasingly prevalent in the meta now, so that's nice. There's some great skills we could get here. That's decent, that's decent, that's great. Reduce cooldown across the board is really nice.
Life skills.
And let's get you in order again. Gotta take some XP. And let's have a look at Econ. That's a great get. We'll be playing you during AI fights. So you proc for... Oh, hello. Hello, brother.
Mr. Pygmalion.
Very nice. You scale very, very fast now. And then if we put you over here, we can also pick up the shipment, which is a nice get. Just make sure we're not selling anything completely busted by accident. Don't think we are. Great shop. Feeling really strong now. Definitely more busted pig builds we could come up against, but we should be beating Vanessa. Do we have the arrogance of running stained glass window? I think not. I think against... it's tempting. It's tempting to run stained glass window instead of force field and just try to win with the poison from Fixer Upper, which I think we're quite likely to do. We're very likely to do. How bad would I feel if I lost though? I think we let's not get too greedy. I could use a 10-piece. So let's maximize our chance of winning against human fights and then play stained glass versus AI. Especially because this looks like an elemental depth charge. No, it's a weather glass, which I think we're fine about. Like I said, Eel's phenomenal item in the meta, but not great against us. Got a lot of regen, brother, but I think our shield is just a bit too much.
Next time, boys.
Yeah,
Less
close.
wonder,
Although we still have Fiery Rebirth coming in. We may have lost that with stained glass, so I'll call that a good decision. To not be super arrogant and annoying. Often a good decision. Let's get everything in order here. Pig can be annoying to play. Want you like this. Yes, yes, you there, swap you go there, you go there. Waiting on 4 items to be sold to proc. Don't have much inventory room, which may be an issue, but we'll see how we go.
With no weapons? Leave with big...
8 might... I think for 8 we're better off keeping our money for other things. Although, I think you're worth getting because we can... You get changed into small items, which are good buy sells. Okay, I think I just like max health here for more survivability. And then I definitely want chocolate bars, so what has to go here? Stained glass window may have to go. It's really good. But I think I gotta clear up the inventory space. And I still have only cleared up 4 when I'd like 5. You're gone. I want to get all the value I can from these buy sells because it's how we're scaling, and scaling is how we win. It also scales Land Scraper. Property Baron is really, really tough, but I think we're good enough to beat him, and he has some game-breaking skills for us, so you got to try. In particular, Master Salesman is incredible. It's a little bit down to timing. He hits really hard, like that. But yeah, we get in there, which is nice. Skyscraper would make me think, so hopefully not Skyscraper. Any of your skills are phenomenal. Billboard, I think the previous logic holds fast, and we'd prefer to just make sure we're not proccing it. We'd prefer to stick with what we got. Would have loved those skills.
Besides,
Pretty much any of them.
Whoever said money can't buy class had neither.
That's a pretty good get. I'll hold on to that. Even though inventory space is really at a premium. Won't be selling 5 from this merchant, so let's mosey on. And loot item is just too good to pass up. Cooldown across the board is nice for me. I don't want to get Toxic Fixer-Uppers. Just trying to think. Maybe I do want Toxic Fixer-Upper cooldown reduced. It just means that Defense Grid is proccing earlier than it otherwise would, and I prefer it to proc closer to Force Field. So maybe you actually reduce the cooldown of Force Field. Yeah, I like that play. But I think 4% across the board is actually marginally better after having carefully deliberated. So we sell you, reduce cooldown across the board, move you, move you, move you, move you, move you. Have room for our truffles, fantastic. Board is in shape. Mac is scary, but we'll see how we go. The hope is that if it's a poison Mac, our shield builds up in the time it takes us to die twice. It's a fiery rebirth mirror. Let's see how we go. Lifesteal could certainly be bad for us. We get in a big first hit, but they have a lot of health. Both our builds are scaling a little bit because we scaled with Ice Luge, although we're not scaling anymore. I think we're relying on poison a little bit here because the timing isn't matching up well. I'm pretty sure our Fiery Rebirth hasn't procced yet though, in which case we should be fine. Maybe? Their lifesteal's hitting really hard. We're going to need a well-timed hit here, and we don't get it. Damn! So that really was... I mean, we would have won if they didn't have Fire Rebirth. It really was a kind of timing matchup. Really strong sustain in that build. We go on. Don't think we want to be trading our health for anything. Would love 3 diamond chockies. Let's get all this sorted again. Still want to be giving the value to Toxic Fixer Upper. Upgrade. Upgrading Ledger seems to be the play to me. Scaling is fantastic for us, and this increases our scaling. And pick skills tend not to be fantastic, even though there's certainly a few that can work with our build. Curio is what we want to see with this type of setup. Gonna buy a lot of things here. Want to put the crit chance on you. And the damage on you. I'm even going to buy the suffer cost 4 here. Got to increase the threshold for buy-sell a little bit, now that we're later in the game.
Well, you're doing your part to clean up the bazaar.
4 to sell. We want to put you on you. Not that it really matters. Some nice buffs coming through.
Reuse everything.
At a certain point with Pig, you're putting in a lot of effort for relatively marginal gain, but I feel like this is the type of build that could get over the line or may not get over the line, so I feel like it's kind of worth it. Would love to get a way to put more ammo onto our Ice Luge, and would also love your skill, although there's some synergy with some of the freeze stuff as well with what we're doing, but this juggler skill would be incredible for us. So yeah, the timing works out quite well. Toxic Fixer Upper goes after 3.6 seconds, Defense Grid pops, and then Force Field goes less than a second afterwards. Barring freeze and slows, of course. So the timing works out pretty well. Let's get everything back in order. And then it has to be Gumballs, as annoying as it is. World's slowest gumball machine. But we're getting phenomenal scaling. Next enchant, I suppose, is going on Force Field. Although I feel like that's a low impact enchant. Wonder what Ice Luge enchants are like.
You're huge! Do you have any...
Caltrops can be great, but just not in our build, unfortunately.
On behalf of the
So
Grand
we'll take a
Society,
couple of
blah, blah, blah.
buy-sells.
Bye!
Okay, so we have a very powerful Toxic Fixer Upper, a very powerful shield hitting item. We really should be winning, but there's always that chance that you come up against builds more busted than yours, every time. This is the way the Bazaar works, and I feel like the most likely one is probably Mac. As we saw last time, Mac can do some truly ridiculous things. It's another lifesteal which you hate to see. It's very similar to the build that crushed us with the added very powerful Poppy Field. But let's see how we go. I feel like that was a good crit potentially. Although we had Fire Rebirth coming in. But yeah, scary, super scary build and an important win. So we carry on with our inventory management. Inventory Management Simulator 2025. Personally, I'm a big fan. Play it something like this. And then like so. And then let's take some spare change.
If you're not growing, you're failing.
More scaling, more scaling, more scaling. And let's have a look at shield skills are tempting, but I think diamond skills is worth a bet here.
The fact of my greatness.
I mean, this is just phenomenal. And it can't screw up our timing too much, I think. I mean, the timing gets a little less predictable, but I think that's fine. And I think the first hit, the timing is still good, which is all we can really ask for. Now let's take a look at you.
All things in moderation.
Some cheap items would be nice.
How a master merchant makes a sale.
VIP pass is almost certainly making it onto the board.
Happy to exploit you.
Just a great item. I think it's better than Ice Luge. You're gone.
Profit is profit.
Amazing scaling item. And we are still scaling. We still have quite a few fights to go. So we play it something like this now. And I think we can take the Void Colossus, although your skill is still phenomenal. But I think I'd rather go after you. What happens if you destroy our force field? We may still win with the poison. So I think I'd rather take the XP here, and there's a potential to pivot into an Eye of Colossus, I suppose. Look at how hard our first hit's going to go, though. Oh, you love to see it. I didn't get the VIP pass, didn't get a chance to scale the value. We won too quickly.
You gotta know what you're
When you burn haste, I mean, our skill pool is already so scuffed that let's pick it up. Who knows? We might find a way of making that work. Now, we can make a case for either of these. I think Curio is just too good with our buy-sell build. And pig skills, oh, but it's late game. Skills are always good late game. Hate that they got put up against each other, but we got rewarded because that's a significant buff. So now we're really looking at potentially one-tapping a lot of people we come up against, which is great. And here we go, chocolates, even though we only get 4 of them. There's nothing worth selling. Possibly Signet Ring? Nah, I think you got to hang on to it. So I think in this case we can only get 4, which is annoying because that also means we just miss out on that buff. But oh well. Play it like this, and quite likely that we're just one-shotting now, I think. Especially with the crit. Even if we don't one-shot, we have some follow-through with our charge skill. We have a bit of defense through health and fire rebirth. It's a very strong build we put together here. Freeze is our counter. I think we're too fast for this build, as cool as it is. Don't quite get there, but the poison will do the... Oh, maybe not. Might have celebrated too soon here. They're getting pretty nasty. We're relying on good timing. We need one good timing hit. There, we just got it. So yeah, if we don't kill in that first shot, it really comes down to getting some good timing, but ultimately we got it there, as I think we were pretty likely to. And VIP Pass is providing some great scaling. And the haste is better than nothing. So the build is working together fantastically, albeit annoyingly taking quite a while to get together. I want to run it like this. Then we want to put it back here, continue playing our inventory simulator. We have 4 spots in the inventory, which I think is enough to take chocolate. But gumballs is great to see. Gumball doesn't count as a merchant, so we're not missing anything there. So yeah, we're just buying, selling as many as we can. As many items as we can for scaling our ledger, which in turn scales both the properties on the board, and also scaling our Shielded Landscaper itself, which is getting nastier and nastier. So this is now incredibly strong. It's a win con by itself, but then we have Force Field to help as well. Inventory, inventory, inventory. We beat anyone. Your skills could just be so good. You just got to try against the property baron. Master salesman, phenomenal. Big numbers, phenomenal. Trader, good. You just got to try for one of the skills. Master salesman would be incredible. One time. Alright. You're gonna make me think, brother. How do you go instead of you? You hit phenomenally hard. And we don't... You're not as cool as Force Field. You might just be better. It goes even harder because there's double value in combat. And it doesn't rely on the timing like Force Field does. Force Field really does rely on the timing working out. So it gets an incredibly strong first hit in with Defense Grid coming online. Oh, it's just cooler though, isn't it? Force Field is just cooler. I'm almost certain that Skyscraper is better, but I prefer running this cool build while we can.
Hope you packed a change of clothes.
So let's commit. That is an awesome looking item. Oh my goodness, Bunker. Brother.
That looks like...
Brother. This is insanity. It's just so cool. What if you run it like this? And you rely on the first hit. So after 3.6 seconds, you get 2000 shield. And then you hit for some insane amount of damage with Force Field. Because it has multicast. And you get the shield from Defense Grid. And you're constantly charging one another. It might just be the play. It might just be the play. Why did it have to be you? I'd like to upgrade VIP pass, I think, for the, or Ledger actually. It has to be Ledger. What am I talking about?
Moving up in the world.
There's so many arguments for how this could go. I'm just trying not to think about it too much.
This world is full of noise.
Further reduced cooldown is great regardless of what we're playing. Okay, now we got to decide against a Duelster. I mean, we probably get blown out by burn no matter what. This is the kind of one-tap build. Shield, even ignoring crit, our shield is going to go to 2000 plus 4000, so 6000 after 3.5 seconds, and then we Force Field for double that almost immediately. So it just has to be this, doesn't it? I think this is our best build, believe it or not. As insane as it is to get rid of Shield Landscraper that costs this much, has this much value, and that we've been building all game, it's also just cooler. You're gone! Oh, that hurt my soul! It hurt my very soul. It would have served me right if that proc Ledger. Alright, we're committed to this build. It should kill everything in 5 seconds. Unless it gets frozen. And freeze beats either iteration of the build. Oh, you meanie. Double bugs. Get there? We just get there. Just get there. Before potentially being perma-frozen? Potentially. Although you can freeze VIP pass as well. What a cool build. Alright, I'm very glad that we made that pivot. Yeah, it's the insta-kill pig. It's incredibly cool. Now all we care about is scaling Fixer-Upper. So this is fine. We have so much money. So much money. I wonder if there's ever a case of deliberately playing a suboptimal board against the AI so that you get... Oh, did I just miss one? That's a misplay. So that you get more scaling from VIP Pass. Probably not worth it. And I think with the amount of money, let's go Weapons Vendor. Because we can just buy absolutely everything. Which is similar scaling to Gumballs.
Enjoy the thrill.
And better than chocolate.
Okay.
Diamond Pitchfork.
Hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight
Me when I'm a
beside
rich
you.
Redditor. Get our best board back out here. Oh, you could... I'm trying not to think about what happens if we get your legendary. I'd rather take a skill, thanks, so that we don't have to think. Yeah, that insta-kill for force field is incredible. The multicast force field bunker pig. Pretty happy with how this one's come together. Oh no, brother, why'd you have to do it to me? It just doesn't work, does it? It's so much slower than... I actually don't need to think about it. It's cool, but it's really cool multicasting it with bunker. But it's just so much slower than what we're doing. It just has no place on the board. Definitely some useful skills here. We can do better than that, surely. That's a lot of shield, brother. But reducing cooldown, I think, is better. We just get the build to the insta-kill state as soon as possible. And we have so much money that we go here and buy everything, regardless of how expensive it is. Just for the buy-sell progress. Upgrade to VIP passes. Nice, bit more haste.
This will do well for you.
We're a rich pig. Me when I'm... No, I won't continue that one. Skill upgrades can be amazing for us. Especially... We've got a relatively minor range, actually. In fact, none of them are too good. So I think we actually might go a vendor here for the scaling.
Why do white people live in forests? Those cities where the wounds are.
This is why pig runs are so long. Hopefully it gets to 10 to justify a bit of a longer rerun. Oh, that's an expensive money tree. Wah wee wah. It's probably amazing with the yeah, it's very cool. Hasn't been getting scaled. That's too dear even for my blood. Alright, let's hope to get over the line. Is our pig more busted or is their pig more busted? Let's find out. I feel like it's hard to do better than us, but who knows? You just never know. So the build is, after 3.3 seconds all going according to plan, our fixer-upper fires and shields us for about 2,500, as well as piling on a lot of burn, and a decent chance of doing more with crit, but let's say 2,500. When that goes off, our defense grid procs, which gives us another 4,500 shield, so we should be on 7,000 shield roughly, if not more. We also charge our force fields, that it goes off basically instantly at the same time fixer-upper does. In fact, I think it does go off immediately after, and it hits for twice that, so it should be hitting for 16,000 with a decent chance of critting as well to take that up to more like 24,000 within the first 3.3 seconds of the fight. That's the plan. Let's see the plan crumble.
Noticed I'm huge?
A kind of well-placed slower freeze can throw the whole thing off. Oh, you've got Master Salesman. Do we get in first? You get in first. Wow, even that's incredible. Even with our Fiery Rebirth, which I thought would prevent this stuff from happening, they were too fast. That's how fast you have to be as a pig in the late game. They had, why are you 5.1? They had Lethargy. That killed us. Lethargy killed us. And their slow got in, and they had Master Salesman, they had this Buster build. I honestly feel like we were close to a 90% chance of winning that fight, but oh well. We will be enchanting. Heal effects seem fine on Force Field, but then if you go off, how much does a heal really do? Do we put heal onto Fixer Upper and rely on winning by Force Field? But then again, heal has relatively minor impact. Don't know what heal on Bunker does. Don't really care. Let's just throw... I think let's just try for a random on Force Field. There's nothing we can get that breaks the run. And stuff that is potential counter against... More poison is fine. Potential counter against other freeze... Other shield builds. Potential counter against Fiery Rebirth. It's just not a bad one to have. What am I doing? I really want this to get to 10. It absolutely deserves to, and I think it's pretty unlucky if this doesn't get to 10, but you never know. So we just carry on scaling, basically. We have enough money to buy almost anything. Probably I draw the line at 48. Or do I? It's the last day. I probably still don't draw the line at that, actually. Where did that go? I nearly sold the bunker. Instead, that would have been a disaster. I actually think we still buy that, as crazy as it is. I shouldn't have given the big talk on how the build works and how broken it is before going on to lose. But, I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Why do my people live in forests? Those cities where the wounds are.
That's pretty incredible, but I think Bunker is just cooler, isn't it? Has to be Gumballs, I'm afraid. I want this to get to 10 so badly. Bunker Piggy. Such a cool run. It's hard to get one-tap builds too much more efficient than this, to be honest. Although I guess we are pretty susceptible to slow, as the last run demonstrated. That was a pretty busted build though, let's be honest. Let's try for the skill again. So if all goes according to plan, we insta-win in 3.3 seconds. Yeah, like that. That's what the plan is. So it's just a matter of getting to 3.3 seconds relatively uninterrupted. That's a good get, but doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. We're either getting to 3.3 seconds and winning or not. And they can have some interruptions still. The build, that would have been a bad time to proc ledger. The build can still work with some degree of interruption. Gotta be chocolate bars. And I'm gonna get rid of you. Actually, I should have got rid of the pitchfork, because we're not going another day anyway, but whatever. And pay for the chocolate. And let's try for something that changes our life. I'm sure there's... I mean, it doesn't change our life, but we'll take the scaling. It's too good to pass up on. Yeah, decent chance we just get blown out by... We're good against one-hit builds because we have Fiery Rebirth. But there's certainly perma-freeze builds that we fare poorly against, but then who doesn't? So there's no reason not to just sell out, not that it really matters at this point. Game can't go an extra day. This is a build, works in the same way as what I said before, pretty much. Incredibly cool build, I think. Bunker's a great item. The insta-kill pig build. Plenty of survivability. But it's a level 20 Vanessa, which is super scary. You're going to be doing something broken. Likely a one-tap build. No, what are you? We're very slow. You're a slower. That's going to be too much, is it? Oh, the timing. Oh, we get there! Yes! How did that work? I thought we were cooked. Let's watch that again. I really did think we were cooked. Their slow was so effective from slow shipwreck. So nothing's gone off, nothing's gone off, nothing's gone off. Force field pops. Then... I'm not quite sure how that happened. Maybe we charged it a lot? I think what happened is Fixer Upper went off and charged Force Field twice, which charged it up 2 seconds. But that looked a little strange to me. Not strange as in something's wrong, but I just can't quite figure out what happened. But at any rate, we got saved by Fire Rebirth. That's an incredible build. With all the skills as well. But I'm very, very glad to get this little piggy to 10 wins with an insta-kill Force Field plus Bunker build. It happens very rarely that comes together quite like that. And it's nice to be back in the swing of playing Pig. Super fun run. If you enjoyed the run, please subscribe. I'm at the point of the channel where every subscription makes a big difference, so I hugely appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.